Hey guys, welcome to episode 21 of our video podcast. This is not part 2, but our second video podcast.
Second ever.
Second one ever. And might I just say, the best one ever. It's not going to be the best one ever. But, yeah, so let's hop right into it. If you're looking around for Jared, he's not here.
Sadly not.
He just pops in and out all the time.
Yeah, he's just
forget about that guy. Anyway, but basically let's just jump right into it.
PlayStation 4.
Yeah, PlayStation 4.
So, I actually watched the, I had to go to school.
Well, did this news just come out of nowhere, or have
they were going to announce the PlayStation 4. They were holding their own event. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I mentioned this in the last few podcasts.
I don't know, because I knew nothing about this.
Yeah, they had set an event, and for February 20th, mm-hmm. and sure enough, they announced they set an event for the future of PlayStation.
Okay.
So then they finally announced PlayStation 4, which I was watching the part where they announced it until I had to leave my home to go to school. Where right when they announced it, and they could our new home console, our new this, it will set the standard, it will do this, and I'm like, can you just tell us what it's called now? And then they says our new console, PlayStation 4, and then they got a little applause. I'm like, okay. Did you really need...
Citizen Kane.
It's like, okay, well, was I supposed to be surprised that you called it that?
No. I'm not.
I mean, although, I'm kind of sad they didn't go for another Latin name.
Another Latin name.
Yeah, Vita, and then we do Mortis.
Yeah, you wanted that.
I wanted that so bad.
Yeah. Just like
they had a code name Orbis for a while, which is another Latin word, which is like something orbit. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. It actually would have been pretty neat. But I think the term orbit sounds better for like a handheld console or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I watched then I totally didn't follow anything with Sony.
Yeah. And I just showed you. Well,
right.
you already saw the controller.
Well, I saw the trailer for Killzone that you sent me.
Oh yes.
And then on that same trailer on YouTube, it also had the ad running at the same time before for PlayStation. And one of the things that struck me first was, I'll go in order with the ad, was I didn't like the part where, I mean, it looked good. The graphics look really good. Yeah. I mean, what would you expect? It's the fourth one. I mean, PS3 already overcompensated with their graphics, and I expect that this one would have good graphics. So that was fine. But what I didn't get was why they had, this, they were talking about how we want to do things people have never seen before, and that was fine, but then they go and do, that little game where it had, the little exploding toy thing that, comes together.
Oh, yeah.
And it was why do people keep making these games where you've got all this graphical power, and then you make these little, solve the block games? Those can be fun, but it just seems like such a waste of graphics to have these super high, light scattering, and then, all you're looking at are these little, geometric blocks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun. We've seen games that are simple be loads of fun, but it's maybe you want to...
phones and stuff.
Right, or even console games, or Minecraft.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it's maybe you want to scale back the graphic power.
Minecraft looks deliberately retro.
Old, yeah, and it makes it more fun. Maybe you want to scale back the graphic power when you make these simple games. It doesn't have to be super high, mega colored like some of the WiiWare games, like Fluidity or something like that. Yeah,
I've never played any WiiWare games.
Yeah, nobody keeps up with WiiWare games. Don't worry.
Well, the only one I tried was World of Goo.
That's a good one. That's one of my favorite ones. World of Goo, Onslaught, and what else?
I didn't buy it though.
Yeah, I know. Oh, Bit Trip. There we go. Anyway, so then going to the trailer, I want to point out some things because I want to get to this. This is funny. In the trailer, when the guy arrives and he's like, and he goes to the security thing in Killzone, and he's like, just as a formality, sir. Did anyone else notice that there's a beat that sounds a lot like the boop in Halo? Right at the end when he clears, boop boop.
I didn't catch that.
That there's this one little boop that sounds just like the Halo beat. I was like, And I searched all the comments and no one had caught that, so I was like, I thought that was pretty interesting. So Secret Troll, maybe?
When I was watching this footage, because I watched a bunch of them.
Okay.
One thing that struck me, I was like, well, what part of this is gameplay and what part of this is CG cutscenes? Maybe that's
like gameplay.
Yeah, it all looked like gameplay. Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where you're not. It's kind of like reacting to what It's just like I think it was all just the gameplay.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it looks like current high-end PC games. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm not totally surprised by it because it's like okay, I've kind of seen what this looks like before. Mm-hmm. Now Sony has also stated they are not going to they will support things like 4K for like video and photo. Okay. 4K is double 1080p, but they will not support it in games, which I'm not surprised. I don't know why people kept saying that they're going to do 4K games. There aren't even 4K TVs that are popular yet. 1080p is still not in everybody's homes. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was the thing too. You're talking about you watched a bunch. I noticed a lot of people in the comments for I only really watched the Killzone one. I noticed a lot of people in the comments kept making comments like. It looks like Gears, or it looks like Halo 4. And in a way, it almost kind of does. All the graphics are so high now, it almost looks like everything's starting to look the same. I mean, you got a guy with a gun and really good graphics, and he had that one part where his gun like into a sniper rifle and like charges and then shoots. It's like all right, so it does look a little like Gears of War. It does look a little like Halo 4. And
did you see the Destiny one? That's the new Bungie series that they're partnering with like Activision.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's coming.
So go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out.
But I did notice. So I'm like, okay, it looks a little bit like those things, but its own thing. It's different. I don't really care. I'm not going to complain. I mean, if you want, there's so many shooting games now, but it looked okay. It looked its own thing. But then the part where he's on the rope, that was pretty neat. And he's on the rope, and he's so bad 244. He's like shooting people off the thing. That was pretty neat. And I mean, it was so overamped, but it was pretty interesting. I thought that was done really well. And then
I get to go and watch this in 1080p because I really want to see what this looks like.
Yeah, I didn't watch it in 1080p.
I watched it in 720.
I don't know what I watched now. I was like, oh, what's this? Okay.
I watched it scaled down. I watched it scaled down on my phone when I was at school because I really wanted to see what it looks like. But yeah, I really need to see it in full resolution because I think that would be pretty neat.
Right. So then we've got the designs, actually, like you were showing me the controller.
Oh, the controller, yeah.
And I thought it was funny because they have that touchpad in the center, and that at first reminded me of
the Wii U. But it's more like the Vita.
Right, because it's not a touch screen, it's
not a screen. And I don't know why people keep calling the back of the Vita touch screen. It doesn't display anything.
Yeah, we talked about that in one of our podcasts.
I was like, it doesn't display anything.
Greasy Cheetos fingers.
Yeah. It doesn't display anything. It's a pad. It's like you don't call a trackpad on like your laptop, you don't call that a screen.
No, I call it crap. But keep going. Killing Josh.
Yeah, no.
No, but
so what's funny is in response to this.
Well, I was saying, it also has that little what do you call it? The move thing on the back.
Oh, the move,
which is hilarious. Right. So it's got the Vita screen on the front, and it's got the move thing on the back. So for once, PlayStation actually ripped off themselves instead of everyone else, which is funny.
So it kind of looks like a bulkier DualShock. It looks a little bulkier. My thing is, I don't know what the pad's for, though, because it's really small. Because the thing is, I think a pad...
Really small dual?
Yeah. I think a pad should be, like, very spacious and large. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't, like, on the Vita, it's really large. Mm-hmm. This one's really small. I don't know what that's supposed to be for. But there's some other neat things, because, like...
I just love how PlayStation's never updated how their controllers look throughout the ages.
Well, this is the first. This is probably the biggest
change.
The biggest change.
It still looks like a PlayStation.
But I mean,
it's going to be this way all the way to PlayStation 7.
It's funny because well, if they
I'm going to be like 50 years old, and I'm going to be like, I know how this works.
That's if they make a PlayStation 7. If consoles survive that long. Mm-hmm. The D-pad, I was surprised they didn't really copy Nintendo because Nintendo's patent expired.
Really, for their D-pad?
For their D-pad. That's why the Xbox D-pad, which is crap.
It's like round.
Yeah. Yeah. And Nintendo's always been very good with their D-pad because others could not copy it because they had a patent, but it expired back in 2005.
Really?
Yeah.
It's amazing there was a patent on that.
Yeah.
It could be like one of those free open things.
Yeah. But it's interesting how they didn't copy that. Huh. We'll maybe see in the 720.
Right.
Speaking of, there was a rumor now, Microsoft registered a domain called xboxevent.com. So Sony now started it. Now Xbox, we might see the Xbox Windows 8.
So so basically, I think that was basically the stuff.
Yeah, they didn't share the console itself.
No, and they don't have that. Yeah, they don't have that yet.
Yeah, people were kind of mad about that. I'm like,
we can assume it will be black, and it will probably look like a George Foreman grill.
I wonder how big it will be, and I wonder how much power it will consume, because we talked about how the last one...
As big as the sun, as much power too. No, power consumption, that is the concern always. So anyway, so that was basically it, right, from their event?
Yeah, I mean, there's other things like the specs, which are crazy. It's like 8 gigs of RAM.
Oh, really?
8 gigs of RAM, and it's very... Because I found this out today. It's x86 based, which is kind of like what Macs are based off of, and like computers and stuff. That's a very open kind of... Ken Kutaragi, who's the guy who's the father of the PlayStation, was always very much a fan of making these weird, exotic kind of processors, because he wanted... and this worked with the PlayStation 2. Apparently, he didn't want the PS2 games to be ported easily to other consoles.
Really?
Yeah. So he wanted to make... Yeah, he wanted to make sure... Granted, Hiroshi Yamauchi, the president of Nintendo, kind of did this too.
Right.
With the N64. He made it deliberately hard to develop for so that they can rule out all the bad developers.
Mm-hmm.
So, to be fair, Nintendo's guilty as well.
Yeah.
But
it's not their problem.
Yeah. But, yeah, and then they tried this with the PS3 with their Cell processor, and then that didn't work because the Xbox became the dominant, more dominant console. But now they realize that didn't work, so now they're going to a more open kind of...
I want to make a Dragon Ball Z reference. Keep going.
Yeah, they didn't really... It's an 8-core processor, a real 8-core processor. Yeah.
Wow. A
real 8-core, not that Cell processor with the 8 SPEs.
Right.
No, this is a real 8-core processor, octa-core. Sounds really neat. They didn't really go...
No relation to Octomom.
Yeah.
Congratulations. If you thought it sounded neat, I just ruined it for you.
Yeah, I know. Damn.
If this were a video episode, I'd be so tempted to post that picture of her with a tie.
Oh. We are a family show. For now.
Okay. Alright, where's the brain bleach? Anyway, keep going.
That's basically it.
Yeah. So they've overpowered it. Do you think this is because they want to put high specs in it, or because the games are actually going to eat that much power?
Oh, I don't know.
That's an interesting... Because like you said before, this is
They're
not
trying
a computer.
to compare it.
You're not going to be running major things on it.
They're trying to compete with... They're saying it's like comparable to high-end PCs. My only problem is that PCs get updated like more frequently, so they're never going to compete with the PC.
Well, that's PlayStation.
That's PlayStation.
Let's see what that does to the price too. Let's see if they learn.
Yeah, there was a rumor as actually there was going to be 2 models like the Wii U.
Okay.
And that the starting price was going to be $429.
Right.
And $529 for a higher end.
Yeah,
close to $599 US.
Let's hope they learned from their PlayStation 3 faux pas and fix this.
They were just being arrogant with that one.
How you killed your brand.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
good times.
Yeah, very good times. Better times. Anyway, so that'll about do it for this episode, all about the PlayStation 4, and we'll see what happens when it comes out, or as we get more information. Make your own decisions and your random jumping to conclusions, and leave us comments about them, and, whatever. We'd sure love to hear what you think. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.